Welcome, crypto fam, to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. Bitcoin up over 3,200 on the day, October. Let's go. In today's show, I'll be sharing the latest technical analysis, as well as the Omega candle inevitable, according to Samson Mao. We'll also be discussing a political shift driving 407 million worth of inflows into the crypto products, according to the latest data from CoinShares. We'll also be discussing publicly listed Samara Asset Group to buy Bitcoin using a $33 million bond. Let's go. We'll also be discussing like Bitcoin on steroids. Why is MicroStrategy stock trading at 2.7x premium? I'll be breaking that down for you. And speaking of the Giga Chad, Saylor reacts to the time travel proposal from Samson Mao to reclaim 10,000 Bitcoin from the 2010 pizza deal. We'll also be discussing Mark Cuban questions Trump's motive for WLFI token sale as Max Keiser claims Trump failed the Bitcoin IQ test. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much motherfucking more in today's show. For those of you new to the channel, very important to smash the likes and go ahead and subscribe. Then hit the bell icon. Turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every day, just like this. Today is pod 1787. I'm your host, JV. It's October 14th, 2024, and Bitcoin is a-pumping. We're up 3,300 on the day. Not too shabby, eh? Just a couple of days ago, we dropped to 59, and just like that, we're at 56, so make some noise for that. Let's kick it off with our market watches we do each and every day, family. You can see Bitcoin up 5%, according to Coin360. We got Ether up 6%, Solana up almost 7%, even XRP up 3.5%. The only major crypto in the red today is Tron. And checking out coinmarketcap.com. There's currently a market cap of 2.29 trillion. That's total crypto. Bitcoin specific is right back above 1.3 trillion, which we love to see. We got 92 billion worth of volume over the past 24 hours, meaning it's up 102%. Bitcoin dominance continuing to climb at 56.9%. Even the Ether dominance up a bit today to 13.8%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers past 24 hours. We got Mu up 25%, WorldCoin up 18%, and Lido DAO up 14.5%. Let me know which alts, if any, you're bullish on for the bull. Holla at your boy. And checking out the crypto bubbles, we get a visual perspective on the day. This is what I love to see. I think literally virtually everything. I only see one coin called Tau in the red and Tron in the red. So that means 98% of the market in the green today. Beautiful sight. And checking out for the monthly, similar story, maybe 90% of the market in the green with some very impressive meme coins I don't really even know of. Nero's up 5,000 freaking percent, which is mind-boggling. And it looks like a Doge spin-off or something like that. It looks like the Doge dog. May he rest in peace. I heard he ascended to, do dogs go to heaven is the $1 million question. I think so. I think they have souls. What are your thoughts on that? But anyways, checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index. Today, it's neutral 48. Yesterday, 50. Last week of 50. And last month of 50. Dead in the middle of little did we... You feel me? Shout out Big Pun. And checking out the time chain calendar. We're currently on block number... As that's calculating, we have 184,000 blocks yet to go into the next halving. We're on block 865,631. And check it. Today, you can only get 1,524 sats per dollar. Yesterday, it was above 1,600. So look how fast that number can drop if you don't seize the moment and stack sats accordingly. How many of you are Satoshi millionaires? Let me know. It probably only run you, I'm going to speculate, $500 in that ballpark to be considered a Satoshi millionaire. But that number is only going to get bigger and bigger as obviously the value of Bitcoin continues to go up versus the dollar. But let's continue, fam, with our technical analysis. Headline here reads, Bitcoin price hit 66 G's. As analysis asks, has October begun? Precisely what has just begun. You can see it right here on the 1 hour chart. Charts don't lie. Bitcoin tagged 66,000 today at the Wall Street Open as whale buying pressure fueled already buoyant crypto markets. And by the way, either happy Indigenous Day or Columbus Day, whatever you choose to celebrate here in Puerto Rico, it is Indigenous Day. You feel me? And it's kind of ironic because you're either celebrating Columbus, who got the credit for stealing the land from the indigenous people, or you're celebrating the indigenous people. that got their land stolen. Either way, kind of sounds like anyways, I digress. Data from TradingView showed Bitcoin price gains nearing 5% on the day. Continued strength came towards the end of last week. Bitcoin approaching the 2-week highs as the U.S. furthered bidding, which began in earnest during the day's Asia trading session. Analyzing order book liquidity, we have material indicators showing the Bitcoin whales buying Bitcoin again at the current levels. Quoting them here, watching to see if the brown mega whales show up with another big market order to eat through this sell wall at 65.5. And it looks like that's precisely what just happened. And while heading to 66, Bitcoin rapidly claimed the key trend lines of support on the daily time frames. Quoting popular analysts on Chain College, the 200-day moving average and short-term hodler cost basis, both key bull market support levels, are now apt to function as support once again as October began. Looks that way. Let me know your thoughts. Now, 65,000 formed the key level for the bulls to flip to convincing support in order to ensure a sustainable longer-term trend change. SKU agreed on the day, describing the current spot price range as highly significant. Quoting him here, quite the important overhead here for the market to break and sustain above 65 G's, baby. So let's discuss further October. According to QCP Capital, in its latest bulletin, they argued that while there may be many factors influencing Bitcoin price action, history favored a strong finish to October and the rest of the year. If we look at back to 2016, Bitcoin was trading in a very tight range for more than 3 months. It wasn't until 3 weeks before the U.S. election day that Bitcoin began its rally from 600 and finally doubling its price by the first week of January. And lo and behold, we're 3 weeks out until the presidential election here in the States, scheduled to take place November 5th. So quoting them here, similarly, in 2020, Bitcoin was stuck in a boring range for half a year. Sound familiar? And only started rallying from 11,000 just 3 weeks before the U.S. election day, reaching a high of 42 G's by January. Now, the average October gains since 2013 have totaled 23%, still much higher than 2024 thus far. So after months of trading in the range, will history repeat itself? Today's rally has definitely given the market a glimmer of hope, just as October optimism was starting to fade. So there you go. Respect the pump. And as shared here by Samson Mao, Omega is inevitable. Now, the Omega candle, if you're not familiar with it, suggests a $100,000 price increase. On the daily chart, the God candle we define as a 10,000 increase, which would take us to price discovery. And let's pull up some of the live charts for you guys. Live and in the flesh. Here we go. You should be able to see here, we're just above 66,000 via TradingView via Coinbase. The 1 hour chart looking bullish as a mofo. You see this morning a massive green candle. And as we continue the bullish momentum and zooming out from there, let's check out the 4 hour chart. And then we'll check out the 1 day, the 1 week, and the 1 month. Lit. We have very bullish targets. The most bullish 81.3 on the 4 hour chart. We also have a bullish target in the orange sitting at 74, which would take us to price discovery. And we do have the pink target sitting at looks like just above 70 G's. And we do have some bottom targets to be aware of. The most bearish one is at 41.5. And zooming out from the 4 hour, we'll check out the 1 day. 1 day chart shows a lot happening. We do have a rising wedge formation. We do have a blue bullish target of 89 G's. Send it. And then we have some bottom targets ranging from 48 all the way down to like 36. And zooming out from there, we'll check out the 1 week chart. For the Bitcoin price action, survey says bullish cup and handle target sitting just shy of $124,000, which I believe is in play here for Q4. Let me know if you agree, disagree. And zooming out from there, we'll check out the 1 month chart. You can see we've had a lot of sideways trading action. So the $1 million question becomes, will October continue the bullish momentum of where we left off earlier in the year? Let me know your thoughts and read your comments out loud. Next headline, let's discuss this 407 million of inflows from the political shift drive. Crypto investment products posted another successful week as Bitcoin led weekly inflows of 419 million. Why couldn't we get 420? Happy 420. So close. Digital asset investment products saw inflows of 407 million during the week of October 5th to the 11th, as CoinShares reported in the latest digital asset fund flow weekly report. The fresh crypto inflows followed a minor 127 million sell-off from the previous week, which came amid stronger than expected economic data here in the States. And according to CoinShares head of research, James Butterfill, the increase of crypto investment products last week was likely influenced by the upcoming U.S. elections rather than monetary policy outlooks. That's right, 3 weeks away until the election, fam. This trend is evident in the fact stronger than expected economic data had little impact on the stemming outflows. He wrote, adding that other factors, such as polling towards the Republicans, led to an immediate boost in inflows and prices. Also mentioned Republicans are widely perceived as more supportive of digital assets. Makes sense to me. And on October 10th, major publications, including the New York Times, reported on the new polling, suggesting the control of the U.S. Senate would flip from the Democratic Party to the Republican Party after the upcoming elections, November 5th. The election will determine the next U.S. president, as we know, in the race between Republican candidate and former President Trump and Democratic candidate Miss Harris. And with inflows of 419 milli, Bitcoin was the primary beneficiary of the recent political shifts, according to CoinShares. In contrast, short Bitcoin investment products saw outflows of only 6.3 million. And in the past week, blockchain equity ETF saw one of the largest weekly inflows thus far this year, totaling 34 milli. The growth likely came in response to the surge of the price of Bitcoin, which more than surged 2% from 61.9 on October 6th to roughly 63.3 on October 12th, and now October 14th, 2 days later, another 3,000 in the green, 66 G's, baby. Now, multi-asset investment products saw minor inflows of 1.5 million, marking the 17th consecutive week of the inflows for the asset class. On the other hand, we have Ethereum that continued its trend of outflows, with investors pulling roughly 10 million from Ether products last week. So there you have it. Yo, and welcome everybody. Next headline, this is actually breaking news. Check this out. Publicly listed Samara Asset Group to buy Bitcoin using a $33 million bond. Does it sound a little familiar to MicroStrategy and the Michael Saylor? Yeah, I mean, anyways, publicly listed asset management firm Samara Asset Group is working to increase its Bitcoin holdings with proceeds from a 30 million euro bond valued at 33 million USD. Announcing the news October 14th, Samara said investment bank Pareto Securities would be the sole manager in arranging a series of fixed investor meetings on a potential multi-million euro bond to expand its investment portfolio. Let's go. We call this the Mikey Saylor put, quoting them here. And up to 30 million euro senior secured Nordic bond may follow, subject to inter alia market conditions, the firm said. The bond's proceeds would be used for additional limited partnership stakes and investments in Bitcoin, which the firm uses as a primary treasury reserve asset. Let's go. And according to Samara CEO Patrick Lowry, the asset manager has been holding the biddy for years and is now increasing his Bitcoin treasury and investing in disruptive tech through top managers and builders. Not sure it's possible, but I'd like to dream to stack as much as Michael Saylor, said Lowry. And as of September, Saylor's MicroStrategy held 244,800 Bitcoin, and today it's like 252,000 and counting. But anyways, according to Lowry, Samara currently has exposure to around 421 Bitcoin and is looking to significantly increase its holdings this year, quoting them here. I'd like to cross 1,000 biddies by year's end, said Lowry. He noted that the size of Samara's Bitcoin investment from the bond would depend on the amount raised, quoting them again. Depends on how much we raise. Any assets that we raise that don't deploy to the funds will be held in Bitcoin as part of our core treasury management strategy. Let's go. Lowry said Samara invests not only in Bitcoin, but also fund managers on its mission to advance humanity through technology. With Bitcoin as our primary treasury reserve asset, we also enhance our liquidity position with bond proceeds. And formerly known as Cryptology Asset Group, Samara was co-founded, ironically enough, by the Bitcoin bull, Mikey Novogratz, the one guy that had the Luna tattoo on his arm and was showing it off at the Bitcoin conference. Can't make this ish up. But anyways, this Persons Family Office 2018 based on Malta. Samara is listed in the German Electronic Stock Exchange, etc. And according to Lowry, Samara's net asset value as of June was 189 million euros, which is 206 million USD. The company's portfolio includes the mining firm Northern Data, Deutsche Digital Assets, and Next Markets, and others. Samara's move to increase its Bitcoin position comes as Novogratz crypto investment firm Galaxy Digital also expands its Bitcoin holdings. And according to data from the blockchain data firm Arkham Intel, Galaxy purchased almost 500 biddies since October 7th, and at this time the amount is worth 32.4 milli, according to data from CoinGecko. So there you frickin' go. Let's discuss this latest with MicroStrategy. This is actually a very interesting headline. Like Bitcoin on steroids. Why is MicroStrategy stock trading at a 2.7x premium? Let's discuss this, because yesterday we discussed Michael Saylor's goal of turning MicroStrategy into a $1 billion Bitcoin bank. So check this. MicroStrategy's net asset value premium to its Bitcoin holdings has risen to the highest in 3 years, reaching about 270% as of October 14th today, according to the MSTR tracker you see on your screen. Now, the NAV premium is measured after dividing the MicroStrategy market cap by the value of the Bitcoin holdings. The higher NAV shows that holding a share of MicroStrategy provides investors a yield 2.7 times higher than holding Bitcoin directly. Key factors explaining why the MicroStrategy stock is trading at a premium to its Bitcoin holdings include leveraging and free cash flows from the software business. MicroStrategy uses leverage using financial instruments such as at-market equity offerings and convertible senior notes to amplify its Bitcoin holdings. They're virtually printing the biddy out of thin air. And as of October 14th, it held $3.9 billion in long-term debt with a market cap of $35 billion. This shows that its assets are 1.1 times levered relative to its equity. Now, in simple terms, for every $1 of equity, MSTR holds 1.1 of assets, mainly Bitcoin, through its use of debt. Now, suppose Bitcoin's value increases by 10%. We're up 5% today. It's crazy. Already halfway there. And that's just in one day. And without leverage, MicroStrategy's Bitcoin holdings would also increase by 10%. So would its stock price, which is ironically what happened today, but with 5%. But because MSTR uses debt, it controls more Bitcoin than it could with its own money. That's right. It's pretty wild. So when Bitcoin goes up 10%, the company's overall asset value increases more than 11% instead of 10%. So I guess hypothetically that means being up 5% today, they increased maybe roughly 6%, suggesting MSTR's NAV premium comes from leverage. And although often overlooked, MSTR software business generated $111 million in revenue in the second quarter, with steady subscription revenue growth that provides a cash flow base to service its debt and sustain its Bitcoin acquisition strategy. And he says it's infinitely scalable as well. And while the software side is not the primary focus, it contributes to the MicroStrategy overall ability to operate as Bitcoin strategy without selling the Bitcoin to cover the debt obligations, thereby maintaining its Bitcoin holdings and NAV premiums. Now, lastly, market confidence in the CEO Saylor aggressive Bitcoin acquisition strategy is very high. And since adopting Bitcoin as its primary treasury reserve asset in August of 2020, MSTR had consistently outperformed Bitcoin in most traditional stocks. Employee of the month, Mikey Saylor. Now go get your shine box, Mikey. For instance, MSTR has increased now 1,700% since purchasing its first Bitcoin. Meanwhile, Bitcoin returns in the same period have been around 500%. So it outperformed it by a factor like 3x. Pretty wild. Bitcoin on steroids, eh? And top U.S. stock indexes, such as the S&P and NASDAQ, have delivered returns of only 80 and 70%. And investors are willing to pay the premium for the MSTR because they expect the company to continue increasing its Bitcoin holdings over time. Why? Because Bitcoin's going up forever, Laura. Our next headline is actually pretty exciting as well. We'll have fun with this one. The headline reads, and shout out Sam Samau, Michael Saylor reacts to the time travel proposal to reclaim 10,000 Bitcoin from the 2010 pizza deal. That's right. Check this one out, yo. Michael Saylor, chairman of MicroStrategy, sparked interest on social media with a commentary concerning his company's Bitcoin acquisition strategy. Let's discuss it. The exchange began from a tweet from Bitcoin advocate Samson Mao, who playfully imagined a future scenario in which Saylor travels back to the year 2010 to stash the biddy after delivering 2 pizzas to the famous Bitcoin pizza buyer, Laszlo. Mao's tweet paints a picture set in 2039 when 99.5% of the Bitcoin has already been mined. In this scenario, Saylor, in a desperate bid to acquire more of the biddy, could go back in time and trade 2 pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoin. Now, my question for you guys, how many of you would go back in time if you had the ability to do so and trade those 2 pizzas for the 10,000 biddies? Let me know. Now, for some context, May of 2010, Laszlo completed the groundbreaking transaction trading the 10,000 Bitcoin for 2 Papa John's pizzas, which had since become a legendary moment in crypto history because it was the first transaction. At the time, value of Bitcoin was 41 bucks compared to 64 G's or 66 today, illustrating the monumental rise of digital currencies over the past few years. And following the Samson Mao post, Saylor responded with an emoji that expressed a blend of contemplation and curiosity. His reaction suggests he was pondering the hypothetical scenario of traveling back in time to secure those early Bitcoins cheaply. And this was the tweet that sparked the conversation here from Samson. The year is 2039, 99.5% of the Bitcoin had already been mined. Desperate to increase the MSTR holdings, Saylor travels back in time to May 22nd, 2010 to deliver the 2 pizzas to Laszlo himself. And then there's the response from Mikey Saylor. So yeah, to Saylor's reflection, malcaution, don't do it, Michael. Any attempt to send Bitcoin from the past to the future will fork reality, affecting or effectively creating the new time chain. Now, that's why I asked you guys, would you guys go back in time knowing it could fork the reality we're living in today? Would it be worth it? Let me know. Interesting conversation, right? Now, MicroStrategy had amassed an impressive total, as you know, 252,220 Bitcoins to date. The company adopted the Bitcoin standard in 2020, being the first publicly traded company to put the biddy on the balance sheet. And over the past few years, they've been aggressively purchasing the biddy. And obviously, their stock has gained tremendous momentum. They're continuing to buy, and Michael Saylor says he'll buy until the end of time. He'll buy at the top. He'll buy at the bottom. He'll buy on the low. He'll buy on the side. He'll buy. BTFD and say goodbye or say hello to the biddy. But there you go, yo. Interesting conversation. Time travel. How many of you even believe in time travel? Marty McFly. If you can go back in time on the DeLorean, would you do so? Now for our feature story of the day. Mark Cuban questions Trump's motive for WLFI token sale, which I believe begins tomorrow, while Max Keiser claims Trump failed the Bitcoin IQ test. Let's break this baby down, but let's start with Max Keiser's tweet. I think this was shared, looks like 2 days ago, October 12th, got 40,000 views. He wrote, Bitcoin is an IQ test and Trump failed. And this was in regards to Trump launching this token. And Max also tweeted, I think this morning or yesterday, October 13th, got 68,000 views. A MicroStrategy board of director guy told me the internal goal for MicroStrategy is to own more than 1 million Bitcoin. They currently only have 252,000, so that means 4x their current supply. And the new Bitcoin bank doubles their buying power. And as I shared in yesterday's pod, MicroStrategy's goal, according to Michael Saylor, their founder, is to become a $1 trillion Bitcoin bank. So a new sovereign player, not El Salvador, has the same goal. So I think they're theoretically saying El Salvador has this goal, potentially, and another major player we don't even know of. It may be a sovereign wealth fund. It may be another big company. Who knows? But someone else has this. It could be a nation state. Global M2 is exploding higher. Gold is being demonetized, and real estate is being demonetized. Now, really consider the finite limited supply of the Bitcoin as an asset. There can only ever be 21 million. Satoshi got approximately 1.1 million locked up forever and roughly 20,000 plus wallets. You have companies like MicroStrategy that have 252,000. You have now asset management giants such as BlackRock that literally control the world, that have more Bitcoin than freaking MicroStrategy, and they just started accumulating this year. I think they have now $23+ billion worth of volume, which which broke every record in ETF frickin' history. You have the Cathie Woods of the ARK Invest. You have the Fidelities. All these major players are stacking sats like there is no tomorrow. Then you have nation state adoption. You have frickin' El Salvador. You got Suriname, a South African. You got so many players in the global game. You got Ricardo Salinas, third richest man in frickin' Mexico, all accumulating the biddy and stacking like there no tomorrow. Let's speculate. 5 million of the biddy lost, gone forever, meaning there'll only ever be 15, 16 million Bitcoin in circulation, right? Making it that much more scarce. Are you starting to understand, family? True scarcity for the first time in monetary history only exists with the Bitcoin. Now for the article. Mark Cuban questions Trump's motive for WLFI token sale as Max Keiser claims Trump failed the Bitcoin IQ test. Let's break it down. Former President Trump's decision to launch a crypto token sale for his project, World Liberty Financial, has attracted popular backlash from prominent figures in the crypto world. Billionaire investor Mark Cuban, a vocal critic of Trump, along with Bitcoin advocate Max Keiser, have both raised serious concerns about the legitimacy of the venture, with Cuban implying it's a money grab scheme, and Keiser outright accusing Trump of failing the Bitcoin IQ test. Now, Max has said on stage that him and Stacey are voting for Trump. So I don't look at this as Max hating on Trump. I think Max is just being genuine. He believes Trump literally failed the Bitcoin IQ test by launching his own crypto token because he believes it's ultimately going to fail and collectively go to zero against Bitcoin along with the rest of the altcoins. I can respect that. Now, Mark Cuban, I just look at as a hater. He just hates Trump and anything Trump does. But that's just my two Satoshis. I'll keep it moving. The criticism comes 3 weeks before the highly anticipated presidential election. Here's what Ben Hunt had to share. It will never be weird, or it'll never not be weird to me. The Republican presidential candidate is launching a shitcoin 3 weeks before the election. And the discourse is, haha, Tim Walsh looks like Elmer Fudd and Kamala's desperate. And here's the tweet from Trump himself. World Liberty Fi token sale goes live Tuesday morning, which means tomorrow morning. October 15th is your chance to help share the future of finance. Be there on Monday, October 14th, 8 a.m. Eastern for the exclusive spaces to learn more. Let me know if any of you guys are invested or going to be investing in World Liberty Financial or the Trump token holla. Now, Mark Cuban didn't hold back when reacting to the announcement of the Trump upcoming WLFI sale. On Twitter, here's what Cuban remarked. I'll let this stand on its own, implying his disdain for the move. And there's from Mr. Cuban. Now, the underlying message was one of disbelief as Cuban openly questioned why Trump, a man who has Elon Musk writing him checks, would resort to launching a token, something Cuban and others have labeled as an obvious pump scheme. As Sheeptoji Nakamoto shared here, this is one of the stupidest possible things he could do if he wants to be president, in my opinion. Mark Cuban responded, why would he do it? He has Elon writing him checks. What's the point? Then we have Alex Miller, CEO of Web3 platform Hiro, also expressed the frustration saying, just effing shoot me. Anyone who thinks this is good for crypto, it sets us back for years. Incredibility. Let me know if you agree, disagree. Now, both Cuban and Miller believe that while Trump, oh my God, what just happened to my article? It just disappeared. That was weird. Let's see if I can get back where we left off here. Okay, both Cuban and Miller believe that while Trump may not literally rug pull, the token sale feels like an attempt to exploit the crypto market. I think a lot of folks would agree with that. Grifting his supporters and followers. Unfortunately, in the process, Trump's WLFI token sale seeks to raise $300 million by offering 20% of the token supply, valuing the project at a massive $1.5 billion. The sale has come at a crucial time in Trump's 2024 presidential campaign, adding a layer of political intrigue to the financial motivations. Cuban, long-term skeptic of Trump's ventures, further voiced concerns about the long-term repercussions of the crypto market, hinting that Trump's lack of knowledge about the space could result in a disaster. Meanwhile, Max Keiser, senior advisor to El Salvador's president Nayib Bukele and the ardent Bitcoin supporter, didn't mince words either. Keiser took to Twitter to share, as I pointed out earlier, Bitcoin is an IQ test. Trump failed. And according to Keiser, Trump's token sale shows he does not grasp the unique value proposition of the Bitcoin, which stands as a decentralized, non-inflationary store of value in contrast to the centralized projects like WLFI. Keiser's criticism is almost the same as many in the Bitcoin community, who view Trump's token launch as an opportunistic move to cash in on the hype around digital currencies rather than supporting genuine innovation. One user also questioned why the media isn't attacking Trump for launching what could be perceived as a rug pull, comparing it to their lack of coverage when A-list celebrities launch similar questionable ventures, as Predator shared here. Anyone else find odd? MSM isn't really attacking Trump for launching an ICO. They are basically ignoring the story altogether. This isn't Trump's first foray into the world of digital assets. As you know, back in December of 2023, Trump launched a series of NFTs, initially on the Ethereum blockchain, featuring cartoonish images of himself being heroic in these outfits and as a cowboy, as an astronaut. Then the Trump NFT collection sold out within a day, raking in $4.5 million. And although the initial sale was a financial success, the value of the NFTs plummeted shortly after. Not surprised. But let me know your thoughts. Do you agree with Max Keiser? Do you agree with Mark Cuban, or do you agree with Trump? And do you think this could potentially be a good, positive project for crypto? I want to hear your thoughts, your feedback, your honest opinions, and all that good stuff. And welcome, fam, to the Q&A segment of the live stream. Trump token is a no. Word, says Phone Stand Channel. Kevin Smith, heck no. How's that DJT stock doing? Hypocrite. Cuban invested in his own meme project. Yeah, I don't like Cuban, and he is a hypocrite, 100%. How many financial failures did he promote to his audience? So I don't really have much respect for Mark Cuban. The token is a base token of WLFI. It really isn't for sale on the markets. It is being used to fund WLFI, the company to become a DeFi bank, says the Oracle. Thank you for sharing. Max tells it like it is. Mark is a tool. Agreed with you on that, Don. The WLFI will provide loans, banking, and investment services to people who have been debanked by the current banking environment. I'll take Cuban, says Kevin. Wonder how well or VP did on Max's BTC test. I thought Mark Cuban was fake news. My motto, just wing it and pray, 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 Diana says.